For our next recipe, Barbara has transformed some of our Jerusalem artichokes that we harvested earlier today into a grated form and then into the finalized product. And Barbara, tell us just what is our finished product there.
The finished product is similar to potato pancakes, only it's substituted Jerusalem artichokes for the shredded ingredient. We've gone ahead and added 2 eggs and an onion to this, which we also shredded, and we're going to blend those together. Now to hold the whole thing together, we're going to add a little bit of flour, about 3 tablespoons of flour. We'll add about a teaspoon of salt, and you can adjust that to taste, and then some nutmeg, because the Jerusalem artichokes do tend to have a bit of a nutty taste, and this tends to bring that out a little bit. We'll blend that together. Try and turn our skillet on so it starts heating up at the same time. And once we get that blended together, I'll let you go ahead and do that while I work over here. I'm going to add some oil to the skillet in order to cook these in. Now, if you're on a weight control diet, you could just use a nonstick skillet, which we have here, but this will add some flavor to it. I've got some regular vegetable oil here, and we'll add about 1½ tablespoons of that. And then to set off the flavor again, because of that nutty taste to it, I'm going to use some walnut oil. Now, any kind of nut oil you choose, there are all other varieties, hazelnut oil and so on as well, would also work. Roll that around a little bit, and then we're just going to put these in by kind of heaping spoonfuls and flatten them down a little bit, and they'll cook about 2 minutes on a side.
Now, Barbara, the Jerusalem artichoke is kind of an unusual vegetable for people. They have a tendency to really not know what's going on or where to find them or that kind of thing. Plus, they resemble another vegetable or spice that you brought here as well.
Right.
What is the difference on that?
This is ginger, and you'll notice how much alike these two are. And a lot of people, when I'm out in talking with groups, they will assume that this is ginger. This is a spice. We use it in a lot of different things around the holidays. It's very hot if you just eat it, and it's really good in Oriental food, but they're not the same and they're not interchangeable, so you do need to make sure which one you got. Also notice that when you're trying to buy them or pick them out of the garden, it's nice if you can find some that are not as craggy as some. These are fairly smooth. It makes them a lot easier to wash because they do tend to pick up a lot of dirt.
Soil. Okay.
This one, for instance, would be much more difficult to take care of. A good vegetable brush will do it for you pretty well, however. I left a peel on these that I'm cooking today. One of the things that happens if you try to peel them is you lose a lot of the artichoke because so much of it gets peeled away when you try and take the peel off.
What's the nutritional value of these?
About 60 calories in a half cup without the vegetable oil and so on. And they are a fairly good source of iron as well, so that they are a good nutritious food.
Well, you mentioned that we can use them like water chestnuts, just wash them off again, cut them up, just use them in salads.
In salad, you can use them raw to add crispness and texture. You can use them on a vegetable tray where you're serving carrot sticks and celery sticks and so on. And these are nice because they aren't going to darken as opposed to some other kinds of vegetables that you have to pre-treat with some kind of acid or...
Well, we've compared them to potatoes a lot today just because of the way they're ground.
In fact, potatoes, if you did this, you could grate these up the night before, but if you use potatoes in this dish, then you'd have to do it right before, otherwise you're going to have some the darkening.
Well, since we're not real used to using these kind of vegetables, what about once we buy them and bring them home, there's another difference in there between potatoes. These we can actually store where it's a little bit cooler in the refrigerator.
Right. In fact, they probably should be kept in the refrigerator. They'll keep about a week in the refrigerator if you keep them in a plastic bag or in the vegetable crisper. Well, these aren't quite as brown as we might like, but these would be fine for our purpose today.
Okay.
And you'd eat them right away with a roast of some kind, probably. No syrup on these.
No syrup on these. Well, Barbara, we're running out of time, and as usual with our recipes here on Oklahoma Gardening, you can send a stamped self-addressed envelope or pick up the recipe at your county extension office.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.